Well, well, well. Let's hear it, Wonder. Let's hear it. Spider-Man Brand New Day ending leak and test screen reactions.
We have some crazy reports about Spider-Man's fate at the end of Spider-Man Brand New Day. We also have news about when to expect that next trailer, and reportedly there was another test screening for the movie, and we have heard what some people have said about it, and it's looking pretty dang good for Spider-Man Brand New Day. What is going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping by the channel today, Cosmic Crew. First and foremost, Doom Servant, the Insider, has said that they have heard the second trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day will release next week. So, obviously not this week, but next week. So about a week, maybe a week and a half to go, depending on when they decide to actually release the trailer. What specific day? It could be a week, it could be actually 2 weeks from today. We'll have to wait and see. But regardless, it is coming very soon, and that lines up with basically what we have heard. It is coming in June. And the promotions and the marketing for Spider-Man Brand New Day, like I mentioned, they are going to pick up big time, to where basically they're going to do something big time every day for Spider-Man Brand New Day, and it should be pretty sweet to see. Hopefully not too much, but a lot of what the movie's going to have in store for us, but not reveal too much like Sadie Sink's character and more of the main villains of the movie. But here's something very, very interesting. We have a report from James Mack, the Insider. Now, James Mack has recently had a lot of his leaks proven true because of the trailer that they released at CinemaCon.
I have to remember that name, James Mack.
Of course, many people who were there posted what they saw. And many reports from James Mack, like one report where he said Yelena Belova will fight Mystique, were obviously confirmed true by that trailer, because that trailer showed Yelena fighting Mystique. And Mystique actually turned into Yelena, which is another thing that James Mack said. So, good track record.
Am I the only one that don't give a damn about that fight? Okay, I didn't think so.
Record so far doesn't mean that this is confirmed, but he has had some things confirmed already, and he says this: dead. Peter will be presumed dead, but something won't let him fully die, and he'll return alive in Avengers Secret Wars.
The symbiote. There we go. That's what it is. The symbiote will bring him back to life.
Now, he doesn't specifically say the Venom symbiote, but we have actually heard a lot about the Venom symbiote possibly being in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think it makes sense because of where the last film left off and where the last Venom movie left off as well. I don't know if they're really planning for Tom Hardy's Venom to appear in the MCU or Avengers Secret Wars. I think it'd be a dang shame if he didn't, especially because so many people are going to appear in Avengers Secret Wars. But we're going to put that to the side for now and just focus on a piece of that symbiote being left in the MCU. We've heard many things.
It's a Pepsi bird.
Yes. In fact, Peter will have the symbiote throughout the entirety of Spider-Man Brand New Day, except he won't know it, and we won't really know it until they possibly kind of reveal this at the end of the movie, because something won't let him fully die.
Yeah, well, maybe the symbiote has something to do with all the webs that he woke up in and whatever transformation or problems he's going through. And then, at the end, it fully assumes a symbiotic relationship with him and heals him.
That something probably being the Venom symbiote. Also, there was a rumored ending for this. I'm not sure if it was an ending or a post-credit scene. I don't think it was specified. They just kind of said at the end. But this is what was rumored. Tombstone meets with a mysterious buyer, and Scorpion is there by his side, because we've heard that Tombstone really is kind of the final boss in this movie. He's kind of
the final boss,
controlling Scorpion and the Hand and some other things. And he's meeting with Scorpion because Scorpion seems like his right hand.
Scorpion wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
And man now. And they meet with somebody who slips him a vial. And in that vial is the Venom symbiote. So if they tease that, and they tease that Peter can't die, or something's not letting him die, then yeah, I think that's pretty much the confirmation that they're going to give us in the movie, that the symbiote is going to keep Peter Parker alive or bring him back to life somehow. But this says that Peter will be
Spider-Man will return in Secret Wars.
Doom dead. But something won't fully let him die. I don't know if that means everybody else thinks he's dead or just the audience thinks he's dead. We did hear a leak where he goes to Aunt May's grave and he just lies down and he kind of lets himself die. So perhaps the camera just shows that. But at the very last second, I would like to think they would show us something, like a little venom vein going like through his neck or something like that, in his eyes, something. But either way, it does seem like based on the trailers, and again, we don't really know the full story for the trailers, but based on what we're seeing in the trailers, he's clearly going through some type of metamorphosis. Perhaps the symbiote bonding with
a transformation, if you will.
His DNA is why his body is changing. Let me know what you think about this. Now, moving on to the reactions of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, we heard about this earlier in the week. My Time to Shine Hello said there was another test screening for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Guess the reaction. Then she stated, been told that Brand New Day is Spider-Man 2 level good. Now,
okay, so I think a lot of fans, Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie. Okay. I could give you that. I think that it's somewhere between that and No Way Home. Yeah, that one and No Way Home. Yeah. Even though I definitely enjoyed the first Spider-Man movie, The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. People had issues with him and his Spider-Man, and that one's my favorite live-action suit. That was my favorite live-action suit. I think my favorite suit all around might be the one from the Spider-Man PlayStation game. I love that blend of a giant white spider with the original suit and like the way the shoes and the gloves are done. Man, I love that. Anyway, so if it's Spider-Man 2 level good, then it's going to be a hit. If that's true.
Not only is Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire typically regarded as the best Spider-Man movie, but it's also typically regarded as one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. So that's saying something pretty big. And I think that also means we might not know as much about this movie as we think we do. But coming from Doom Servant, they have heard some reactions as well. And I think that James Mack might have possibly heard some reactions as well, and possibly maybe some inside information about what those people saw. Because, as some of these people who are hearing from their sources have pointed out, the people who go and watch these things, they sign NDAs. They can't say anything specific about the movie, or they get sued and fined a lot of money. So, some of these don't have really specific...
All this stuff still ends up leaking. They tell a friend that tells a friend that tells a friend, and they don't know who said it, so... You know what I mean?
Information. But here's what Doom Servant had to say. Here are the reactions to the screening of Spider-Man Brand New Day. The best fight scene in the MCU happens in this movie. The best fight scene in the entirety of the MCU. That sounds really interesting. But keep in mind, Jack...
Let me tell you something. To be the best fight in the MCU, you're going to have to do damn good. You're going to have to do damn good because there's some pretty good fights. I one of the first one that came to my mind is Infinity War when they're all fighting Thanos. That's a really fun fight, man. Fight with all three of them: Cap, Thor, Iron Man fighting Thanos in the Endgame. With Cap fighting Winter Soldier. And Winter Soldier, Civil War, and they're all fighting each other. Man, I don't know, man. There's just several good fight sequences throughout all of those movies. Cap and other random soldiers. You know what I mean? Black Panther and Bucky, for what little time they did have. Like, just certain things, man, are really good. Man.
Jackie Chan's team was working with Spider-Man Brand New Day. They were the ones who were doing the choreography for everything. So that gives me a lot of hope that, maybe this will have the best fight scene in the MCU. Also, Destin Daniel Cretton directed Shang-Chi. He's directing this film, and I think the fight scenes in Shang-Chi were great. So, Although being the best fight scene in the MCU will be hard because we have some really good ones.
Yeah, it's one of those. I believe it when I see it. I'm like, I hear you, so I know what to expect. However, I'll believe it when I see it. But I'm glad that I'm hearing that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's impossible. So, look forward to, I will say right now, a really great fight scenes, with the possibility of getting some of the best fight scenes in the MCU ever. The next thing it says is Sadie Sink's character is the best character in the movie and one of the best characters in the multiverse saga.
I kind of find that hard to believe that I'm going to like Jean Grey more than Spider-Man. Because I like Tom Holland's Spider-Man a lot. And I love the Hulk. And I love the Punisher. I find that hard to believe that I'm going to like Jean Grey more than those three. And I like Jean Grey, but that's a tall order.
No specific details about who she is. It's interesting that they say she is the best character in the movie. Granted, this is coming from, somebody who saw it. They might not be the biggest Spider-Man fan or the biggest MCU fan.
Yeah. See,
Sadie Sink is a great
he's going
actress.
through it too. Like,
I believe she's playing Jean Grey.
Especially if Daredevil shows up. I love Daredevil. Like, and Jean Grey is better than all of them? Oof. That's a tall order.
And that would make sense as why they would say she's one of the best characters in the multiverse saga. Again, I think if she was someone like Rachel Cole or Spider-Queen, like I feel like that's someone you can, like a lot of people, casual audiences, and even probably a lot of fans would kind of just brush off. Like Sadie Sink is rumored to have between a 3 to 5 movie deal with Marvel. They don't do that for Rachel Cole. They don't do that for the Spider-Queen. You don't really do that for anybody unless you're going to be massive in the face or one of the faces of the MCU moving forward, and that's got to be Jean Grey. So that's what I believe. I think you all know that. But the next thing it says, best live-action Spider-Man movie and top 10 in the MCU. So these are clearly coming from different people. But that's great to hear. Top 10 movie in the MCU. We have a lot of great movies in the MCU. For this to be in the top 10 is a total slam dunk. The movie has great needle drops, so that's really interesting. A lot of shock and awe moments. The movie was hilarious.
Needle drops? Okay. Never heard that before.
I like that. We know, Tom Holland said this himself, that specifically they went back to do reshoots to add some humor to it and to add a little bit more for the villains, which I think is like the biggest mystery right now. Like the main villain seems to be Tombstone, but is that the final battle between him and Tombstone? Because some people think that might be a little underwhelming.
Yeah. Or
is it a big battle between Tombstone, Scorpion, the Hand, going up against Spider-Man, Sadie Sink, the Hulk, the Punisher? It depends on how they do it. I think it's got potential, but a lot of mystery shrouded in what it actually is, which I'm okay with. And the last thing it says was the score was 9.5 out of 10, but they didn't like the ending. I'm a little confused because score typically is the music of the film, but maybe they're giving it a score of 9.5.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Because they didn't like the
that's
ending.
What I'm
I don't
hearing.
think they're talking about they didn't like the ending music here, but probably...
Yeah, they're not talking about music. They're talking about the score for the movie.
Maybe it's because...
Like 5 out of 10 or 10 out of 10.
They're led to believe Peter Parker dies, but the symbiote brings him back. So maybe they don't even tease it at all. Maybe they don't tease that the symbiote is going to bring Peter back. Maybe they just kind of tease that he's dead, which could be crazy, but that would lead to him getting the symbiote suit in Secret Wars for the first time, just like they did it in the comics, which is something the Russo brothers would definitely do. I've heard a lot of...
But here's the thing, too. It's a Spider-Man movie. There are no stakes, really, because we know he's not going to die. No matter what, he's not going to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he dies at the end, I know he's coming back. I'm not going to be sad at the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Spider-Man's their most popular character.
Fans talk about this, and they would like to see that as well. And then it opens it up for the next Spider-Man movie for Peter Parker to have the symbiote. I think this would actually be pretty cool. And that would give you kind of some mystery about the end of the film, and also would explain why Peter Parker is not in Avengers Doomsday. I wonder why Sadie Sink's Jean Grey wouldn't be, but she probably doesn't know anybody, so that makes sense as well. And the Hulk, we're going to figure out his fate in this. And Doom Servant, the insider, did say, for those asking for details, there's obviously a huge NDA here, and no spoilers were shared, which is why they don't specifically say Sadie Sink's character is Jean Grey, Tombstone is the final fight, anything like that. But overall, it sounds like Spider-Man Brand New Day is at the very least going to be a great movie.
Yeah, I get the idea. It's going to be good. I get the idea it's going to be good. So I'm happy with that. I believe that this will be an above average film. And that's all I really ask from a film. Like, to a lot of people, a mediocre film is a bad film because you don't spend your money to go to the movies to be entertained mediocrely. You know, just to be like, you don't want to walk out of the theater like, it was all right. You'd rather walk out saying it was all right versus, oh God, it was horrible. You know, but everyone wants to go for a great entertainment. You want to walk up like, yeah, you know, it was good. Yeah, it was good. You want to come out saying that. Or anything better than good, you know? So I think it's going to be good to great. And I hope it's phenomenal. Get over and subscribe to the Cosmic Wonder. Tell them Tyrone Magnus sent you. 10 million subscribers. Woo!